Hey, once again, this is Scroll Centro, and really, the moment I hit the record button, it lags. It wasn't lagging before, it wasn't lagging in the previous video, now it lags. Jerk. Sorry, it just irritates me when the game does stuff like that. One of the interesting things is that trying to record an MMO means you're not going to be able to cut out everything you'd like to. So if I ever mess up a mission, or not really mess it up, but find out that something happened and didn't even record, yeah, nothing I can do about it. A City of Heroes would actually have a way of doing something about it, but unfortunately, that's not really an option right now. Well, I see after all these months we still have the same thing showing up there. Alright, anyways, so this may look a little bit familiar. Remember that, I was talking about this one mine that gets used a lot? It's back. Third time. Well, we'll have to count up how many times they use the exact same mine layout. This time it's the exact same as last time because... Well, not the exact same, almost the exact same as last time. The difference is this right here. And instead of enemies, we've got Primus soldiers here. Here's our demolitions expert. You can guess what's going to happen. Well, partly. You may be surprised about its methods, but it's a good idea. Sort of. Zaragos, glad you could make it. We have orders to clear this mine shaft, but we wanted to wait for you to get here. Now that you're here, let's light it up. We've rigged some old mining explosives. They'll make a heck of a bang, but that's what I like. You best take cover. No voice clip. Yeah, usually you use a detonator, not a rocket launcher. But it worked. So you got to say, same thing? Nah, he does have something different. Heck yeah, that was awesome. I really do love explosions. Apparently. Our job is done, but we'll stick around and make sure no idiots make it through. Go get 'em, Zaragos. Guy's having entirely too much fun with this job. Right, now we should get a cutscene.
My dear Fallout, your radiation-filled rocket is a marvel of engineering. Those fools at Project Greenskin won't know what hit them. You know, with Bleach gone, I'm in need of a new Minion. And you seem more than capable of performing the job.
Oh, yes, great mistress. I would dream of nothing else.
That's wonderful news. I was wondering when you were going to show up. I told you I'd be seeing you again
Allow
soon.
me to dispatch them,
Didn't I?
mistress. I could not stand to see them sully your perfection.
Yes, if you would be so kind, launch your rocket, destroy the pesky hero, and you'll have earned your place by my side.
You will never prevent me from destroying Project Greenskin and taking my rightful place at Mistress's side. Never! I will deal with you soon enough. As soon as the radiation bays are full and I fire off the rocket, I will return to destroy you!
Thought I'd go ahead and let you actually hear the whole thing. So I do have a couple things to say about that. One, that guy must be dumb as a brick for that to work. Wait, seriously? She randomly offers for him to be just a minion, and he just instantly falls for it? Okay, that's just... I know he's irradiated and dumb, but come on. Alright. Pumps can be a little bit of a pain. Oh, right, and there's also this issue that comes up. when you start attacking the pump, sometimes you may have missed, like I just did here, some of the other enemies, and as a result, you may not even know they're there. Oh, Atomic Reanimator. Didn't even notice him either. That's... would have targeted him first if I had remembered. Or not just remembered, but noticed. Alright. They're still trying to attack the... Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give them an attack command, then an assist. Since they're not willing to target something they're actually able to hurt. See, sometimes what happens is that they're not actually capable of attacking an object, and so they'll just sit there and do nothing. It's like here they can fire at it, but why are they not using their main guns, you know? So it's a bit of a targeting problem. This is because when you destroy it, you'll notice there's still something here. What they do is they actually replace the models a bit, swap things around, but as a result of the way they do it, it actually can give you some trouble sometimes in actually targeting it. Anyways, I find it unusually convenient that, and this guy, again, how stupid can Fallout be? Literally, it's like, the heroes are here, we know they're here, they're about to cause all this trouble, been told to go kill him, what does he do? Wanders off. It's like, I'll come back to deal with you later. Really? You don't think I'm going to do something like, oh, I don't know, wreck the place? I mean, really? I get it, the guy's stupid, but holy crud, this guy's stupid. I mean, this guy's, what, trying to set a record? And man, can she pick him, just finding the stupidest guys around. The last guy couldn't even speak. Oh, another reanimator. Oh well. Anyways, let's go ahead and take these guys down. Now that we've actually got this thing up and running, one of the things of note here is that... Oh. The new upgrade for getting these guys up to rank 3 is that when these bots attack in this turret form, you know, assuming they actually do attack, don't just get glitched out. See, now it says cannot see pump. Yeah, that's actually why they're having trouble. You have to get into a better angle. Now, one of the things they did is that they didn't want people to sit and... This was from back in beta. They didn't want people to sit and, like, build up their endurance on objects, and so they made it so objects don't give any endurance, but then they made up for it by... this was so, like, you didn't run into every battle full endurance type thing. At least that was the explanation that I remember. So basically what ends up as a result, though, is that they also increase the damage of your basic attacks against them to make up for it. So you're not really going to take them out too much faster than you already would have been, so just fine. It's not too bad, but it is sometimes a little bit on the annoying side to me that you can't use your big attacks on it without bottoming out your endurance. Of course, I remember one of the things that was of interest to me in, what was it? City of Heroes, specifically City of Villains, actually. Mayhem missions had you blowing up tons of objects. You didn't have like an endurance bar of that kind, it was very different, but since I played a mastermind on Villain side mostly, I actually ended up, again, just when I think I've got them all. Take these tropes down. I mean, every time, I think, I'm not sure, either every time or almost every time, there's been someone hiding on the other side. I really should have been known to check by the last time. That one's on me at this point. Well, oh well. Anyways, because I played a mastermind, my pets really didn't run out of endurance, and so my friend was like, you know, rated lower levels at least, running out of endurance, and I just sick my pets on him, and we did a great job with that. In fact, if I really wanted to, even though it was pointless, so we'd sometimes take down objects that were much higher level than us and took freaking forever to kill as a result. Cybernetic logbox? Oh, they must have added a new one in. Either that or it's an old one. Sometimes they just scatter them. Either way, it's a logbox, and that basically translates into trash. Seriously. It's just... It does sell well, but it's a really bad mechanic for the consumer. Have to deal with that. Oh well. Anyways, it's not a whole lot to talk about, obviously, when we're beating up reanimators. and all these kinds of guys. But we're almost done with this part. We have to take out another one of these pumps here. I should have checked first. At least no one came running this time. I'm not sure why, actually, because they're right here. Maybe they weren't actually tied to this fight for once. The one time I remember to check, of course I still checked a little too late. Already taken a pot shot at it. In fact, what had happened is it detargeted the thing. Alright, see if we can fire a shot off. That's something at least. It's now been affected by Devoid. Curse. Dimensional resistance debuff. Dimensional damage being mostly from dark energy attacks. Which is kind of an interesting thing. Think about it. Using extra dimensional energies to attack your opponent. That can't be good for their health. So like I was just wondering at one of these things how people expect this to be non-lethal in some of these attacks. Okay, so you can sort of get away with some of it, but, you know, like these guys, we can pretend they've got rubber bullets or something. But explosives? That's a little bit different. And then, on top of that, I got some pretty ridiculous stunts in here, honestly, that we get to pull. Like, fire. You ignite a person on fire. There's actually a power that has them basically flailing around as they're on fire. But this is totally non-lethal, right? Right. Hey, it's the fun of the game. Just get to have fun with whatever you want. Anyways, go ahead and continue to take these guys down. We're almost done, so there's some stuff at the top we gotta break, and then we'll be done with this little mission. Well, almost. We have to fight the boss after that. Which is the same guy you just saw, Fallout. And that'll be done with that. There is, of course, the dome. We've seen it from the outside. It's the big old bubble as we pass by, flying through the air usually. Go ahead and make sure I swap over to be able to get these pets doing some more damage. I should have done that earlier. Another radiation cloud. Radiation cloud, I think, is like an area that just does damage constantly, but they ended up tagging it as an NPC, and as a result, it can actually cause a little bit of trouble there, but oh well. Alright, yeah, these big old fuel barrels. Yeah, it automatically detargets objects sometimes after you've targeted them. Don't know why. Alright, that's one. Let's see, is that all we need, or is it all three? I think it's all three. Again, detargeted for some reason. I think it's all three, honestly. Apparently didn't have a clear shot earlier. Still don't have a clear shot. I know I saw a shot get fired off there. There we go. Sometimes it's a real pain trying to get it to work that way. Alright, how are we doing? We good? Destroy the pumps? But I already destroyed the pumps. Alright, I must not have actually finished one of the pumps off. Yep, here we go. Probably when I swapped to target something else, didn't notice that I had forgotten to come back and just destroy it. Some of you are probably yelling at the screen like, hey! When are you gonna finish the job? But, oh well. Alright, here we go. Get Mr. Moron's back.
What have you done? No matter. Project Greenskin will fall if I have to tear it down with my bare hands. But you will not be around to see it. You must be disposed of at once.
Alright. Like he's gonna do anything. Actually, he does have some power, just not much. Alright, so give me a minute to figure out where I'm supposed to go. Okay, that's Atomic Reanimator. I would think it would be right here where he just showed up, but he's not here. That's interesting. I think he's already trying to fight me. I just can't find him. Yep, there he is. Because it said it was summoned, so... Alright, we'll go ahead and put these guys into attack mode and... be annoyed at someone. Alright. Just fire off a few shots here. Oh, it's almost impossible to actually stun these guys, these bosses and such, and I know they're immune to knockback. In fact, knockback attacks do bonus damage versus bosses and enemies immune to knockback to try to make up for the fact that it's definitely less powerful. That's a big explosion. Alright, so I know I may be nitpicking a little here, but when it had the green flames on there, and you can probably go back in the video to look, the green flames were actually not aligned with the rocket. They were not actually directly on top. The back part was slightly down below the surface, and the front part was slightly above it. Really, guys? For all these years, you still haven't fixed it. Whatever. Anyways, might as well get move on. Whew. Let's go ahead and turn this way and call this video. Yeah, just thought I'd remind you, in case you missed it from before or didn't remember, that is what we were saying. We get to finally go inside there for that last mission. Oh, hello. Oh, that's just something else. But yeah. Anyways, things have changed so much over the years in this game. Hopefully they'll fix more things. Still a lot of good in it, but as you can see, there's a lot of little... It's what they call polish. It's sort of like, you know, you don't just clean your shoes, you polish them to a shine kind of idea. You don't just make a game run, you make sure that, you know, it's balanced properly, the bugs are out of it, and you fix all these types of things. And when you don't, it shows. Paramus owes you a debt of gratitude, Zaragos. Have you thought about signing up with us full-time? Not particularly interested, actually. I'll just take the recognition in this case. Return to center. Looks like I've wrapped everything up here in the Atomic Wastelands. Thank you again for all your help, Zaragos. We couldn't have done it without you. Head back to Project Greenskin and talk with Director Kaufman. I believe he has another assignment for you. I believe he does. And I believe I'm not actually going to do that. Let's go ahead and head on there. That shouldn't take long. So at this point, we're high enough level to where we've got two different areas we can go to. That I think there's actually three, because Canada is there as well. But you can head to Millennium City, and that's actually where I'm more interested in heading, actually. There's also the option to head to... remember how we have the robot cowboys shooting each other? Well, we can actually head to that area if we wanted to, but I find it's kind of obnoxious at times. Some people, I'm sure, love it, though. I got word of the excellent work you did in the Atomic Wastelands. Dr. Sarallo was very happy, and you were able to assist them. But don't start patting yourself on the back yet. Just yet, Zaragos. There's still more to do. Alright, see, it's actually got Terrell Donaldson, Major Thomas, and the City Doesn't Sleep. All three of these are different areas you can go to. So the City Doesn't Sleep is the one I'm going to go to. You've done everything we've asked you, Zaragos, and for that we are grateful. You've been requested to report to Corporal Antoine Harris in Harrison. Sorry, brain doesn't want to work. In Millennium City to deal with issues in some city center. Corporal Harrison can be found north of the Superjet in Millennium City. City Center. That's interesting. I was thinking for some reason it would be named differently. Well, because it's not actually in the center of the city. Millennium City's area where you start with, sort of a general circle, that's sort of what I think of as city center, but this is more of a north center. Of course, we don't actually see the entire city if you think about it. It's more just, you know, a chunk of it. Alright, Millennium City. So, that being said, I'll show it to you on the map in a minute here. But yeah. So anyways, if we did go the other route, we would also get a chance to see a lot of Viper out in the desert. Some of their Grand Hunters and such, so there's that. Alright, so Getting a little bit of lag. I'm going to pick this up next time for this one, but just to quickly show you, we zoom out. Can we make this bigger? Just at least temporarily. So you have the entire city. So this area over on the left, like where you got Chinatown and stuff, that is all, where you can see like it's a little bit darker. If you look on the top part versus the bottom part, it goes from a lighter shade of gray to a darker shade of gray. That's west side. Okay, then you've got areas down with the auction house, the hero games, etc. That area is just sort of a, I forget exactly what they call it, but it's just sort of your center of everything. That's why I think of it as the center. I can't remember what it's actually called right now. Oh, I gotta go do that run later. And then as you move over past the supergroup contacts, which is Champions headquarters, and then the Until headquarters, over to the far right is actually the last area you go to. And I forget exactly what that one's called, like downtown or something. Anyways, in the city center actually is up in the higher areas, and it is actually quite a bit different. This area with the lighter grays and some of the greens actually mixed in because of the parks and such. This area is, oh, it's got some major landmarks. If we can zoom in a bit, I'll show you. This building right here in the center is actually I'm forgetting what you call it. It's the capital of the city, with Capitol building. That's what it was. Anyways, if we go over, we actually have a big old park here. So that's another major landmark. This area right here has a broken outdoor mission that sometimes works and usually doesn't, unfortunately. But it was interesting when it does work. Back up here, we have some interesting things in that somewhere around here, and I forget exactly where, there's the place where you can actually make your nemesis once I believe you're level 25, if I'm not mistaken. And then here's the museum where you actually will do your very first nemesis run, regardless of what your nemesis is. It's always, because you have some choices, but I just thought I'd give you an idea of what you're actually looking at. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Looks like we had some enemies attacking. I've just been sitting here ignoring it. Really? He's just sitting there taking it. It's a good thing he's immune. I'll just let the bots handle it. They're good enough. See? Alright. Yeah, but here's the guy we're going to end up talking to. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Have fun out there.